have one more question. The Iraqi government wants Camp Ashraf moved to another location. The Iranian government probably does as well. What would happen to the safety to the residents of Camp Ashraf if you were moved to some other location in Iraq?
Well, first of all, it's illegal for the Iraqi government to want such a thing, because under international law we cannot be transferred, expelled or displaced to any other location, either inside Iraq or outside Iraq, against our own will. As we are protected persons under the 4th Geneva Convention, and we have signed an agreement with the U.S. forces in 2004, the responsibility for Ashraf residents until the final displacement is with the U.S. forces. Now, the issue about moving us to another part of Iraq, perhaps far from the border, this is just another pretext of another crime. Moving us somewhere far from the border, where we are far from international spotlight, is just like asking us to go to a concentration camp. And just allow me to say that this is to the demands of the Iranian regime. This is what the Iranian regime exactly wants, and we will never surrender to such a demand, to go to a concentration camp and be murdered far from international spotlight.
So would that jeopardize your safety?
Yes,
if you were
definitely.
moved to another location in Iraq?
Yes, definitely.
That jeopardize safety?
Yes, definitely, because there is no guarantee that we have protection. If there is no if the U.S. forces cannot protect us, then we're going directly into the concentration camp at the will of the Iranian regime, and it's unacceptable.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I want to thank you very much for sharing your story with us and the story of Camp Ashraf and this brutal massacre that took place. We appreciate, and Mr. Filner, do you have a couple of questions? I didn't see you over there, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to say thank you for holding this hearing, allowing me to participate as a member of Congress. As you are well aware, because you have been there, there is a potentially much greater humanitarian disaster awaiting. And I think the United States has both the legal and the moral obligation to try to prevent that. And I thank you for holding this to put the spotlight. Too few Americans know what is going on there. And we thank you and Ashraf for testifying this morning. We all met your mom. She sends her love, obviously, and her concern mirrors that of millions of people in this country. So thank you for what you said. I just wanted to ask, by the way, did you or anybody in Ashraf try to get the Americans to respond to this attack that the Iraqis carried out?
Yes. Before I answer your question, excuse me, please, I say hello to my mother. I'm very happy that she's there. Hopefully I'll be able to speak to her soon. About the question that you asked, yes, I personally, through the Canadian consulate, asked to be transferred to Balad Hospital to receive better care. The Canadian consulate told me that they didn't accept. Also, through our liaison officer, we asked the American Embassy as well, but again, we were denied. I asked them for myself as well as for all of the other injured, because I'm sure you know there were about 340 injured, about 245 were shot or received injuries just like myself through a grenade explosion. from the beginning, we really needed medical attention, but unfortunately, they didn't accept to take us. However, they came to visit. They took 7 Ashraf residents, and you must understand that 7 out of 340 is a very, very low number. Yes, we asked for their help.
Did the Americans, did you ask them for help as the attack was occurring?
Oh, yes.
For some military intervention or some military protection as was promised and agreed to and signed by the American Army?
Yes. From every moment we had contact with the United States forces, with the embassy. In fact, from April 3rd, the U.S. forces were here inside Ashraf because we saw the tanks that had entered, and we informed them that something is going to go on. We have to prevent it. But unfortunately, on April 7th, 9:20 p.m., Lieutenant Colonel Molinari, his unit was ordered out of the camp. That left us completely defenseless vis-a-vis the massive assault by Iraqi forces.
You know, this is very disheartening, especially, I think, Mr. Chairman, in this room, the Secretary of State a few months ago promised to protect the health and safety of the people in Camp Ashraf, and apparently that did not occur. And I think this Congress, with your leadership, needs to say more about that. We thank you. We're looking forward to your recovery, and we will do our best here in Congress to make sure that you are not forcibly dispersed, and that there is some protection for you in the future. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Filner, who's been very active over this last several years in paying attention to the potential danger that the people of Camp Ashraf has lived with as part of their life for far too long. I want to thank the young lady today for sharing with us your story. The visualization of you there just adds total credence to the harm and the suffering that people of Camp Ashraf have to face and are having to go through, and has been inflicted upon them in an intentional way. So thank you very much, and we're very grateful for your courage in being on this briefing today, because we know that you're fully aware that other people may view you then as an enemy, and you may be putting yourself in jeopardy again. But let me just note for the record, if anything would happen to this briefer, all hell would break loose in Washington, D.C., and this young lady is courageous, and we must stand beside her, and we do. So if anybody has anything in mind about shutting her up, they're going to have to deal with us in a unified way. So thank you very much. We're with you. We're very pleased your mother was with us, and I know she is very proud to have such a courageous daughter. I have 2 daughters at home, and I hope when they grow up that they're as courageous as you are.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Please, I just wanted to add one more thing. I'm sure you understand that we are still worried about future attacks, of what's going to happen, and I really appreciate members of Congress, the support of the American people, especially yourself, Chairman Rohrabacher, as well as other members of the subcommittee, Ranking Member Carnahan, for all that you're doing right now. I just wanted to, if you allow me, just to say one more thing about the 300 loudspeakers that are around placed around Ashraf by the Iranian regime with the help of the Iraqi government. They blare profanity, vulgar threats against the woman 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It starts from 4:30 in the morning, continues until 2, 3 a.m. So all around, all of us, perhaps even in the clinic here or residents, have 1 or 2 hours a day. And this is also what I thank Judge Poe and Congresswoman Sheila Jackson-Lee's efforts for stopping this. Other than that, I'm very, very grateful for all that you are doing. I thank you on behalf of 3,400 Ashraf residents, and I hope and I understand that it's, I know that you understand that it's very essential that we have a United Nations monitoring team based in Ashraf so that our protection is provided and that another attack does not occur. And thank you very, very much. Thank you for giving me this time, and I send you all the regards of Ashraf, all Ashraf residents. Thank you.
All right. God bless.